Hey, glad you're here. You know, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in all the big flashy games that everyone's talking about. But there's something really special about finding those smaller ones that quietly pull you in. Today I've put together a list of 15 hidden gems on PS5 you'll probably end up loving even more than the Blockbusters. These are the kinds of games that don't shout for attention, but they have this way of sticking with you. I thought it would be nice to just sit back and take a slow look at each of them. No rush, no pressure, just some really cool games that might surprise you. So if you're looking for something a little different, let's get into it. You know, sometimes you stumble into a game that just quietly wraps itself around your curiosity, and Pipistrello and the cursed Yoyo does exactly that. It's not loud, it's not trying too hard. It just pulls you in with this strangely charming vibe that feels almost like a storybook coming to life. There's something really cozy about wandering through its soft, slightly mysterious world, where every little corner feels like it's been hand-stitched with love. And the cursed Yoyo, it's not just a quirky name, it's this fascinating part of the gameplay that somehow makes movement feel playful and thoughtful at the same time. Like you're dancing through puzzles and pulling yourself across hidden paths in ways that always feel just a little surprising. I love how the game doesn't rush you, it lets you breathe, lets you notice the tiny things, like the way the shadows fall in quiet rooms, or how the music gently nudges you along without ever stealing the moment. There's this honest charm to it, like a quiet friend who has the most interesting stories if you just take the time to listen. It's not about big battles or over-the-top action, it's about the little journey, the odd tools you carry, and how you figure things out along the way. I really think it's one of those quiet gems that stays with you long after you put the controller down. Here's something different I've been exploring. Blueprints is one of those quiet, curious journeys that slowly pulls you in, not because it's loud or fast, but because there's something gently mysterious about the way it unfolds. You start in this beautiful old house, but what really caught me is how the house isn't quite what it seems. It shifts, it changes, like it's quietly alive in its own soft, secret way. Every room you open feels like a small story waiting to be discovered, and there's this calm rhythm to wandering through the space, gently piecing together what's really going on without ever feeling rushed. I really want to show you this next one because it's not about racing to the end, it's about moving through each moment, taking your time, noticing the quiet details in the paintings, the patterns in the walls, and the strange, thoughtful puzzles that feel like they've been placed there just for you to slowly figure out. It's the kind of experience that doesn't need to shout to hold your attention. It just quietly invites you to stay a little longer, to keep turning corners, and to enjoy the calm, steady pace of discovering something that feels both familiar and just a little bit out of reach. There's something quietly beautiful about taking a slow walk when the whole world is asleep, and the midnight walk really captures that feeling in such a peaceful, almost magical way. I've been spending time with it lately, and honestly it feels less like a typical game and more like stepping into someone's quiet memory, where the streets are calm, the air feels cool, and every soft footstep echoes just enough to remind you that you're alone but never lonely. I love how the world gently unfolds as you wander. Faint lights flicker in distant windows, leaves rustle under soft street lights, and sometimes you catch little glimmers of something curious just out of reach. There's no rush here, it's all about the rhythm of walking, noticing the small, beautiful details, and following a path that seems to guide you by feeling more than by rules. I really appreciate how it doesn't need big moments to hold your attention. It's the quiet that speaks the loudest, like the calm hush of midnight itself, where every step feels personal and every shadow feels like it's waiting to tell you something. It's one of those rare, thoughtful experiences that leaves you feeling just a little lighter when you finally stop to listen. Here's something really special I've been spending time with. Chicory, A colorful tale feels like stepping into a quiet little world that's waiting for you to bring it back to life, one careful brush stroke at a time. There's something so peaceful about how it invites you to slow down, to notice the empty spaces, and to gently fill them with color in your own way, like you're painting your own path forward. I love how the world feels soft and open, like it's not trying to rush you or push you, it's just patiently waiting for your touch, whether you're carefully filling in tiny flowers, splashing bold colors across empty walls, or just walking through quiet forests that hum with the promise of something more. The way you interact with everything feels really natural, almost like doodling in the margins of a notebook, where there's no right or wrong, just whatever feels good in the moment. I really want to show you this one because it's not just about the colors, it's about the calm, about exploring a world that slowly changes because of you, and about finding something peaceful in simply taking your time. It's one of those quiet, comforting journeys that stays with you long after you've set the brush down. There's this other gem I've been playing called Centum, and it really caught me off guard in the best way. It's simple on the surface, but the more time you spend with it, the more you start to feel its quiet weight. It's one of those experiences that gently asks you to pause, to think carefully about each choice, like you're slowly piecing together a puzzle where every answer matters just a little more than you first realize. What I really love is how the world feels calm but carries this soft layer of mystery where you're never quite sure what's waiting around the next moment, but you still feel safe enough to keep moving forward. It's not about rushing through or chasing big endings. It's more like sitting with your thoughts and seeing where the story takes you step by step. The small details really stand out too, like how the mood quietly shifts with each decision, how the pacing gives you space to think, and how the whole journey feels personal, like you're sharing something with the game that no one else will experience quite the same way. I really want to show you this one because it feels like a peaceful little conversation, a soft, thoughtful rhythm that stays with you long after you. Returnal is one of those rare journeys that feels like getting lost in a dream you can't quite wake up from, and there's something quietly fascinating about that. It's not just the looping, it's the way each step feels both familiar and brand new, like you've been here before but can't remember how or why. The world around you feels alive in this distant, unreachable way, alien yet strangely beautiful with shifting landscapes that seem to breathe and change as you push forward. What really caught me is how the movement feels so smooth and fluid, like you're gliding through the chaos with this sharp, focused rhythm that somehow feels calming, even when everything around you is falling apart. I really want to show you this next one because it's not just about surviving, it's about slowly piecing together something that feels broken, both inside and out, and finding small moments of quiet between the rush. The sound, the light, the way the rain falls, it all settles into this soft, steady beat that pulls you through. And even when the loop resets, you're not starting over, you're carrying something with you. It's one of those experiences that lingers like an echo you can't quite shake, and I think it's worth sitting with step by step to really feel what it's quietly trying to say. There's this other gem I've been playing called Tunic, and it really surprised me with how quietly it pulls you in. It starts off feeling simple, but the deeper you wander, the more it opens up in this beautifully mysterious way. It's the kind of journey where you're encouraged to just explore, to take your time noticing little hidden paths, soft corners, and strange symbols that seem to be whispering secrets only you can uncover. I love how everything feels tucked away, like the world is carefully folded in on itself, waiting for you to gently peel back the layers at your own pace. The movement is light, the battles are sharp, but thoughtful, and there's this quiet rhythm to it all that makes you feel like you're discovering something truly personal with every step. I really want to show you this one because it's not just about the adventure, it's about the feeling of curiosity, about being brave enough to walk into places where nothing is explained, and about finding joy in those little moments when something finally clicks. It's a peaceful kind of challenge, one that rewards patience, soft focus, and the simple love of figuring things out on your own. And I think it's the kind of experience that really stays with you long after you've put it down. Here's something different I've been spending time with. Dredge is one of those quiet, strangely soothing journeys that slowly wraps around your curiosity without ever really asking you to rush. It's the kind of experience where you spend your days out on calm, open waters, guiding your little boat through shifting tides and soft morning fog, just letting the rhythm of fishing and sailing carry you along. What really makes it special is how it gently blends that peaceful routine with this subtle layer of mystery, like there's something just beneath the surface that you can't quite see, but you can definitely feel. I love how the world gives you space. It lets you notice the way the sunlight glows on the water, the quiet sounds of the waves, and those small, almost hidden moments that slowly piece themselves together as you keep exploring. I really want to show you this next one because it's not loud or complicated. It's about taking your time, following your own pace, and uncovering little surprises that feel just as rewarding as the bigger discoveries. There's something really calming about how it all fits together, like you're gently drifting between comfort and curiosity, and I think it's one of those experiences that quietly stays with you, even after you've stepped away. There's this other gem I've been playing called Disco Elysium, and it's unlike anything I've really spent time with before. It feels less like following a story and more like quietly sitting inside someone's mind, sorting through tangled thoughts and trying to make sense of a world that doesn't offer easy answers. It's one of those slow, thoughtful experiences where every conversation feels like a soft puzzle, where your choices don't just move the story forward, they shape how you see yourself, how you walk through the streets, and how the world gently shifts around you. I love how the city feels worn but alive, with little moments tucked into dusty corners, faded signs, quiet benches, cracked sidewalks, like the place itself is quietly carrying the weight of everything that's come before. I really want to show you this next one because it's not about flashy action or racing to the end. It's about listening, pausing, and carefully choosing your next words, almost like each decision is its own little step through someone else's story. It's the kind of journey that rewards you for being curious, for taking your time, for wondering what's really going on beneath the surface. And I think it's one of those rare, quiet experiences that lingers long after you've set it aside.
Plus, I've got the perfect place in mind. Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of us. We should probably get Cindy in here too. Oh, and Gendarme. One last thing. About that question you asked earlier. It reminded me of a certain poem that you might appreciate.
There's this other gem I've been playing called Hollow Knight, and it's one of those quiet journeys that really sinks into you the more time you spend with it. It doesn't shout for your attention, it just gently opens itself up, layer by layer, like a hidden world waiting to be found. Walking through its soft, echoing tunnels feels almost like drifting through a forgotten dream, where every little corner is carefully crafted, every sound feels distant yet comforting, and the air carries this quiet, lonely beauty that somehow makes you want to keep going, even when you're not sure what's ahead. What really stands out is how the movement feels so fluid and natural, like you're dancing through the world with small, precise steps that slowly become part of your rhythm, and the challenges feel less like roadblocks and more like little invitations to grow, to figure things out one piece at a time. I really want to show you this next one because it's not just about exploring, it's about slowing down enough to notice the tiny stories hidden in the walls, the peaceful spaces where you can just breathe, and the way the journey gently shapes you as much as you shape it. It's the kind of experience that leaves a soft echo behind long after you've put it down, and I think it's quietly unforgettable. There's this other gem I've been playing called Superliminal, and it's one of those quiet, mind-bending journeys that really makes you slow down and look at things differently. It's not just about solving puzzles, it's about gently shifting the way you see the world around you. What really stayed with me is how simple things like size, distance, and perspective can completely change depending on how you choose to look at them. And the whole experience has this soft, almost dreamlike rhythm where you're not in a hurry, you're just wandering, exploring, and letting your own curiosity guide you. I really want to show you this one because it's full of those quiet, satisfying moments where something finally clicks, and you realize you've been holding the solution in your hands the whole time. You just needed to see it from a different angle. The rooms feel calm, the world feels light, and even when you're a little stuck, there's this peaceful patience to the way it unfolds, like the space is waiting for you to figure it out in your own time. It's one of those soft, thoughtful journeys that gently reminds you that sometimes all it takes is a small shift in perspective to see something entirely new. There's this other gem I've been playing called Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and it's the kind of journey that quietly wraps itself around you with this soft, almost gentle pull. It's not just about where you're going, but about the peaceful moments you find along the way. From the first steps, there's this calm beauty in the world, like every tree, every stone, and every little creature you meet has been placed there with real care, waiting for you to notice them. What really makes it feel special is how smoothly everything flows, the way Kena moves, the lightness in her staff, the simple joy of guiding these tiny playful spirits that quietly follow you, helping you shape the world back into balance. I love how the story unfolds through the quiet spaces, through the small details that aren't handed to you. You're just allowed to take it in at your own pace, slowly stitching the pieces together while the world around you gently shifts and opens up. I really want to show you this one because it feels calm and meaningful in a way that's easy to settle into, where the battles are thoughtful, the exploration is peaceful, and the whole experience leaves you with this soft, lasting warmth, like you've just spent time somewhere that truly matters. There's this other gem I've been playing called the Plucky Squire, and it's one of those quiet surprises that really made me pause and smile. It's not just a story you follow, it's something you feel like you're stepping right into, like you're part of the page and the world beyond it at the same time. What really caught me is how naturally it flows between these soft, hand-drawn storybook spaces and the bright, playful world outside the book. Almost like you're weaving between two different kinds of adventures without ever losing that cozy, welcoming feeling. There's a gentle creativity in the way the world moves around you, with little puzzles tucked into corners and a rhythm that feels calm but still keeps you curious. I really want to show you this next one because it doesn't rush you, it just quietly invites you to explore, to notice how the story shifts when you change your perspective, and to enjoy those simple moments where the smallest details feel just as magical as the big ones. It's a peaceful, carefully made experience that feels like sitting with a childhood story you somehow get to live inside. And I think it's one of those journeys that quietly stays with you, like a soft memory you can always return to. There's this other gem I've been playing called Blasphemous, and it really surprised me with how quietly, heavy, and beautiful it feels, like walking through a world that's both haunting and strangely peaceful at the same time. The moment you step into it, there's this weight in the air, a quiet stillness that settles around you, where every crumbling statue, every distant bell, and every lonely path seems to carry some forgotten story, gently waiting for you to uncover it. What really stands out to me is how the movement feels sharp but patient. Like each step, each swing, each careful climb is asking you to slow down and pay attention, not to rush through, but to feel your way forward. I really want to show you this next one because it's not about big explanations. It's about walking through a world that speaks softly through its art, its quiet moments, and the strange beauty you find when you stop and notice the smallest details, like the way sunlight falls on broken stone or the soft echoes that linger when everything else is still. It's a journey that stays with you, not just because of the challenges you face, but because of the calm weight of the world you slowly begin to understand, piece by piece. There's this other gem I've been playing called Rogue Legacy 2, and what really surprised me is how it makes starting over feel like a quiet kind of progress. Like every step forward, even the ones that don't quite work out, still matters in some small personal way. It has this soft rhythm to it, where you move through ever-changing halls, carefully jumping, swinging, and exploring. But what really stays with you are the tiny stories built into your journey. The little quirks and traits that make each run feel fresh and just a little different. I love how the world feels familiar but never quite the same, like you're flipping through the pages of a well-worn book where the ink keeps moving when you're not looking. I really want to show you this next one because it quietly invites you to try again, not with frustration, but with this peaceful sense of curiosity, like you're learning, building, and gently shaping a story that grows with you. It's not about chasing perfection, it's about finding joy in each small attempt, noticing the careful details in the shifting rooms, and feeling the soft pull of a world that's always just a little different every time you step back in. It's the kind of experience that makes you appreciate the little steps, the quiet growth, and the calm rhythm of simply trying again. Alright, I think that's about where we'll wrap things up for now. It's been really nice just hanging out and quietly sharing these little discoveries. There's something special about taking the time to slow down and explore games that don't always make the big headlines but still leave a mark in their own quiet way. If you enjoyed this and you're curious, I've put together a list called 15 Hidden Gems on PS5. You'll obsess over more than Blockbusters. You're welcome to check it out whenever you feel like diving into something a little off the usual path. And, if you ever want to share your own favorites or just talk about the games that stuck with you, I'd love to hear what's been on your mind. No rush, no pressure, just whenever it feels right. Thanks for spending this time with me. It really means a lot. I'll see you around.